right. Here we go. It is Wednesday, February 15th, 2023, and from the home studio in Middletown, Delaware, Marshal Manlove from My Sports Reports. This is a special interview edition of our show. And shortly, we will meet a young basketball star from the state of Wisconsin who helped lead her team to the state Division I championship last year, on their way to do so this year, although we won't jinx them by speaking prematurely about that, and her head coach. And before we get to that, please indulge me for just a moment as I mention that this is brought to you today by allaboutsportsu.com. This is an online softball training academy run by Tim Wappler, a very talented, motivated head coach and mentor. So please visit allaboutsportsu.com, and if you go there and you happen to subscribe, use this promo code 146DE Sports FEB. That'll get you 15% off said subscription. And also, this is brought to you by me, Marshal Manlove, stage hypnotist. If you would like a funny, fascinating, and memorable experience for a party or an event that you are having, please consider my stage hypnosis show, details about which you can find at marshalmanlove.com. I do these shows all around the country, and I've talked about sports, local sports, for about 30 years or so. My travels keep me interested in sports, but from places all around the country. And this is why I like to meet people from all around the country. And then now, hopefully, what I'm trying to do here is hopefully when I press this button, my guest will actually appear. Oh, yes, it worked. It worked. I'm always surprised when I hit that button, it actually works. Now, right. Just one more button here. Oh, yeah, there's her name, too. Oh, man, I'm on a roll. Oh, this young lady right to the next of my head here on the screen is Grace Grocholski, and her head coach to her right is Todd Hansen. They're from Kettle Moraine High School in Wales, Wisconsin, the reigning Division I champions. Congratulations, and thank you for making time to meet with me here today. So let's just introduce yourselves real quick. A little bit about yourself there, Coach. How long you been with the team? We'll start there.
Sure. This is my 5th year as head coach at Kettle Moraine. I was at a different school for 14 years prior to that. This is my 5th year here. We're the defending state champs Division I, which is the largest division in Wisconsin. We're currently 21-1 this year, and we're ranked number 1 in the state. And there's 2 state polls in our state, and we're ranked number 1 in both of them.
All right, that's awesome. And Grace, how old are you? What grade are you in?
I am 17, and I'm a senior.
So I found your name in a headline somewhere because you just recently reached a very special milestone for yourself and for your school when you scored your 2,000th career point. Congratulations.
Thank you. Yeah.
And so let's just start with that particular milestone and the night that you reached it. Talk about what was going on that day going into it. Talk about the game and talk about the actual point.
Yeah, for sure. Going into the season, I knew I had a chance to get it, as an opportunity, and I know...
You're not getting kicked out of there, are you? Okay.
No,
just the light in the back. And so, yeah, my parents and everything keep track of my points sometimes and knew I had a chance to get it. And then going into that game, I knew I had 14 left, and... yeah, I mean, it was the farthest away it possibly could be from, it was our farthest conference game away from home, and yeah, it was really nice. During the game, the first half, my teammates really looked for me a lot, and the shots were falling, which made it easier to kind of get to that point and then go on with the game. And so, yeah, and then once I got it on a jump shot in the corner, my family had a poster, and some of the youth kids were there, so it was really nice.
Yeah, they stopped the game, and
Yeah.
Grace got a big standing ovation, even though it was on the road, and they stopped the game for her, and it was a really nice gesture by Muskego, and just to acknowledge that feat. And she's obviously the only girl in school history to get 2,000 points. She's our all-time leading scorer, and the county we're in, it's pretty rich basketball history. She's only the second girl ever to have over 2,000 points in Waukesha County history, and now she's the all-time leading scorer in Waukesha County history. I think she's at 2,136.
Yeah, that's
which breaks her about 30th all-time in the state of Wisconsin, 25 to 30 all-time.
Oh, wow. Fantastic. Yeah, great accomplishment. So I do this show segment capturing milestones, celebrating milestones all around the country. There's a lot of people that get 1,000 points. Great accomplishment, no doubt. I'll even celebrate if we get 500, but 2,000, you don't see too many of those. Yeah. And I understand in a game yesterday, you actually set a personal record for yourself as well.
I did, yes. My career high I had last night at 39 points.
And the funny part is, in the game where she got her 2,000th point, she had her career high of 35 points.
That night, yeah.
And then last night she broke that. She had 39. She had 28 in the first half and 39 for the game. So yeah, just another amazing performance by Grace.
So also happen to know that the 35-point mark was one more than you scored in the state championship game last year. You scored 34. Yep. And so you're the real deal. You step up when it counts. There's no doubt about that. And you had a great day in that state championship game too. 9 for 14 from the field, I see, and then you were 15 for 16 from in free throws.
15 for 16, yeah.
Yeah, so that's fantastic.
And she had a double-double in the state semifinals as well.
Nice.
Yeah.
Fantastic. So there was something in this that I found here that I wanted to ask about. Something about the gold ball. Where is this? Is that the state championship in Wisconsin? Does it have something? Does it relate to something with winning a gold ball or something?
Yes. Yeah. The trophy you get for winning is it's a big wooden plaque with like the state of Wisconsin, carved out of it, and then attached to that is a big gold ball.
Okay.
A basketball.
Okay.
But it's gold, and like football would be a football and everything, but it's a pretty big trophy. So we brought home the gold ball. So that's, when they say gold ball, that's what they're referring to. It's the
trophy.
Yeah, it's the trophy. It's a pretty big trophy actually. It's heavy.
Yeah.
Should be.
So, like during the game, in the championship game, I'd say, okay, we're 7 minutes from the gold ball. We're 4 minutes from the gold ball, or whatever it was. But yeah, gold ball is just the trophy you get for winning state here in Wisconsin.
And how many of those 2,136 points came on dunks?
Can't say any of them.
Right. How close are you to that? Do you try, like in practice or anything like that? No?
Definitely not.
Okay. Now, you're smart too, I see.
She's very smarter than me.
It takes a big man to admit something like that. There's no doubt about that. I mean, it's one of the reasons I am sure that you are a good leader there. What was the shape of the program when you got there, Todd?
It was not in a good shape at all. They had struggled a couple previous years before that, and I came from a place where we were really successful. I had resigned for a variety of issues or reasons, and I knew I wasn't done coaching. This opportunity presented itself, the largest division in the state. I jumped at it when I had the opportunity. So and I got the job late. I got the job like July 31st, so I didn't see any summer basketball. I didn't see anything. And our first year, we won 3 games. And then since then, our first year, Grace, and our other senior stud is Braylon Torres. Since they've come on the program, they've started every game since our freshman year. We've won 3 consecutive conference titles. We've won 3 consecutive regional titles, going for the 4th this year. We have 1 state title. And our record over that Grace's time on the varsity, our record as a team is 84 wins and 18 losses. So we've kind of turned things around greatly since that 3-win first season here.
Yeah, no kidding. And Grace, I understand that it's no surprise that you've signed to play collegiately. Talk about where you're going.
Yeah, I'm committed to West Virginia University. Yeah, super excited. I signed in
Early November.
And I committed back in June.
Okay.
I think June or July. This past summer, in the middle of my last AAU season, and yeah, I'm super excited about it.
And why did you decide to go there?
Oh, okay. Well, first I was committed to Arizona State last year, and then there was a coaching change. So then I decided to reopen my commitment, and then played some summer first, and then committed to West Virginia. But I made that decision even before my AAU season was over, just because of the amazing coaching staff they have there, the place, just the history of basketball there, and the amount of like majors and things like that they have at that school gives me a lot of opportunities there. So yeah.
Yeah, it's a beautiful campus. I've been there a few times.
I think Grace knew when she went there. Sometimes you know when you just know when you know.
Sometimes.
And I've coached like 7 Division I players, and a lot of them, when they went on visits, they said, "Coach, I knew when I went there, that's where I wanted to go." And I think that was with Grace too. When she got to West Virginia to coach everything, she knew that was the place for her.
It was my first visit after reopening my commitment, and it was kind of just like an eye-opener for me. I went on a couple after that, but that one was definitely, yeah, it reminded me the most of where I was committed first. So.
I have to test something here real quick. Hang on.
I think that was with Grace too. When she got to West Virginia to coach everything, she knew that was the place for her.
To make sure my microphone is working.
After reopening my commitment, and it was kind of just like an eye-opener for me. I went on a couple after that, but.
I know you're hearing yourself there. I have to test my microphone because one part's saying it's not working. Okay, it is. All right. Sorry about that. All right. I told you I'm prone to user error, and whoa, got dark again. Are the lights on automatic, like a motion?
I think so.
Motion
I've
sensor.
got them turned on, but they just go off. I don't know. Usually, there's people walking around the classroom, so.
Yeah.
Now, Grace, basketball isn't your only sport. Obviously, it's your number one sport, but you play another sport there at the school as well, right?
Yeah, I play volleyball. I've played it all my life, and yeah, started that on varsity freshman year as well, and that's been super fun.
You get any interest from colleges for your volleyball skills?
I did. Junior year, I got a couple emails, and I mean, they can only start talking to you. It's different for volleyball. They can only start late, or like the start of your junior year. They can only start to talk, I believe, either that or sophomore year. But yeah, I got a couple emails and texts and stuff, but I think at that point I was set on playing basketball and had already had lots of interest for that, so that was what I was focused on.
And what do you see yourself studying in college? Do you have any idea there?
Not really sure. I've been thinking about business just because you can do a bunch of things with a major like that, but not completely sure yet, no.
That's fine. You're young, got plenty of time to figure that out there. Now, you were an all-state team member last year. How does that break down there in Wisconsin, Coach?
Okay, so there's 2 all-state teams. There's one by the Basketball Coaches Association, and they pick the all-state team by division. So there's a Division I team, a Division II, 3, 4, 5. So Grace has been first team all-state by that the last 2 years. Her freshman year, she was honorable mention. Then there's another all-state team, which is called the Associated Press all-state team. That's very difficult to make because it's everyone in the state. They don't designate by division or anything like that. And they only pick, 5 on the first team, 5 on the second. There's 4 teams, so they pick 20 kids in the whole state from all 400 some schools. And Grace was first team All-State Associated Press as well. So she was considered last year one of the top 5 players in our state, regardless of division and regardless of class.
Yeah, that's awesome. Yeah, you are the real deal. No doubt about that. So successful athletes, I know from my years of doing this, have a lot of them have rituals or habits or superstitions, especially those who are involved in sports which require a lot of muscle memory, basketball being one of them. Do you have any kind of those little rituals or good luck charms or habits that you are fond of, either like before a game or practice or anything like that?
Before games, it's usually like some sort of caffeine, and like I always like braid my hair somehow. There's a bunch of different ways I do it, but I always have my hair done somehow. So kind of just like little things like that, and yeah, not really before practice, but yeah.
And Coach, these days are different from when I was younger. Not that I was an athlete or anything like that, but the athletes that I knew had different training regimens and nutritional regimens. What's it like for you at the school here and your players?
Yeah, I mean, we don't talk about it too much. I mean, I always talk about to them, stay healthy, eat healthy, fluids. I talk about fluids all the time. Things are so different now. I mean, kids are drinking coffee and Starbucks and all that stuff all the time. And, 20, 30 years ago, you would never see a kid drinking coffee.
Right.
But it's different now. We don't talk about nutrition that, entailed. But again, I just tell, hey, eat healthy. The biggest thing I promote is fluids all the time.
Fluids and sleep.
Fluids and sleep is what I always talk about. Fluids and sleep.
Yeah.
So I think at that age, and they'll agree with me, if they could do it, they'd sleep more. But they have homework, and there's a lot of pressure on kids these days with everything. And social media is a devil in a lot of senses. We're all on it, but there's a lot of bad things with social media as well, and there's just a lot of pressure on kids these days. And this young lady here is someone that handles pressure really well, so she's phenomenal.
Yeah, definitely a different era, that is for sure.
Absolutely a different era.
So, Grace, I don't imagine that you play on the court by yourself. You don't go 1-on-5. So there's other players that help contribute to your success. Want to talk about some of them, name them, and talk about them and how they have helped your team to where they are today.
Yeah, for sure. Braylon Torres is the other senior. We're the 2 leaders on the team this year, and I've played with her since 7th grade in youth, and then freshman year we were both on it together, like you said. And we started every game since our freshman year. So we just always look for each other, and she's one of the best defenders in our state, and she is amazing as that. And
yeah, she's committed to Northern Michigan, or signed with Northern Michigan.
2,000 points. She had 15 assists that night, and half of those were to me. So she's incredible. And we have some of our 3 other starters are juniors. Maddie Schaaf puts in big minutes for us. Brianna, who's the top of the press that we do, does amazing at that. And we have Claire, who guards our post girls and has good minutes. And we play 4 girls off the bench normally.
Yep.
And they all put in big minutes on defense and try their hardest no matter what time they end up getting. And everyone this year has really stepped up from last year's team. I mean, last year we lost our starting point guard, we lost our 3rd leading scorer, and we lost one of our glue players who started every game for us. So the girls this year have really stepped up.
Yeah, well said. What was I going to ask there? Lost that train of thought. So talk about your coach there, Grace. What he means to you in the program.
Yeah, I mean, he's great. Our coaching staff is amazing. We're serious and have the ability to make jokes with them, and I think they're just really good, like people, if that makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
Like they are really good. What's the word? Like team coaches, if that makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
Like they are really good about like understanding us and know the stuff, like the pressure and that stuff on us, but they work us hard every day, and like we do film before every single game. They work hard on doing that for us. Anything, you can just tell that they care, which is really nice in a coach, and yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah, well said. It's good to see a young person have that kind of appreciation for somebody who's leading the program, and to acknowledge all the extra work and effort that you put into it. It's good to see, and I can see why, Grace, you're a leader on this team. Here's the question I was going to ask: what, if anything, would you like to see changed rule-wise at high school basketball?
This might be kind of a basic one, but shot clock. I know my freshman year and a little bit of sophomore year, we had problems with people holding the ball. But also, too, I think we're a team that likes to get up and down the floor quickly, and we shoot open shots right away a lot of the time. And I think, for me, I would like to see that rule change just because it seems more realistic, and especially people who want to play college, like that's what you're going to be playing with. So I think that rule for sure.
Mm-hmm. How about you, Coach?
I totally agree. I'm a big advocate of the shot clock. We're trying to get it in our state. Every country in the world has it except us. FIBA has it. You play it in college. They play it in the NBA. They play it in the WNBA. I just think it's better for the game. The flow is better. It makes you be more
intentional.
Yeah, precise on offense, and you got to play defense for just 30-35 seconds, and you're going to be on offense. And at the end of the game too, I'll be the first to admit, if we're up against a good team by 4, 5, 6 points with 2-3 minutes to go, I'm pulling the ball out.
Mm-hmm.
And we don't, we wouldn't be able to do that with a shot clock. And I think, I think that's good for basketball. I do it because we can do it, but
it's good to play that way.
Yeah, but with a shot clock, we wouldn't be able to, just pull the ball out and make them foul us.
Yeah, here in Delaware, we don't have a shot clock either, and we have one particular very fierce rivalry between a couple Catholic schools here, and a couple years ago, they played a game to a 4-2 final score. Yeah, that's all they did was just, yeah, it was like less exciting than soccer. So, fill in the blanks for me. Let me know anything that I might have missed that you were hoping that I would ask somewhere along the line there.
Well, I'll just say this about Grace. I've been very fortunate. Like I said, I've coached, I think, 7 Division I players. Grace is by far the best player I've ever coached. She's maybe the most dedicated player I've ever coached. There's many times that she stays after and shoots. I know she watches film at home. We watch a lot of film as a team. I'm anal about film, and we watch a ton of film. But she does all the extra things, and she's a 4.6 GPA. She's a coach's dream, and I've been very blessed to be able to coach this young lady for the last 4 years, and I'm going to miss her greatly because she's not only a great basketball player, but she comes from a great family, and she's a great young lady. And I know whatever she does in life, she's going to be successful.
I can feel the love. Yeah, that's Grace. How about you? Anything I miss there? You want to shout out hello to anybody or anything like that? Feel free.
The cliche I always say hi to my parents.
Hey, they're important people.
Definitely.
And her dad would probably want her to mention her nickname, so I'll let her tell you that.
Oh, please do.
My dad calls me G Money.
Okay.
And yeah, it's kind of grown to the team and everything over the years. So he always yells it out, but when he sees us in warm-up sometimes. But yeah, he's funny.
Or tweets it G Money.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
He's a big nickname guy.
Yeah, I love it. That's great. All right, you two. I want to thank you so much for stopping by the show and allowing me to get a chance to meet you. And this will help me root for you during the Wisconsin State Championships too. It's like, oh, I know them. Yeah.
Well, we appreciate you having us on, and
Yeah,
we appreciate it a lot. So.
Thank you.
Absolutely. Best of luck to you. Continued success to both of you. And there's somebody at the back at the door there. Let's see. Are they looking in?
I don't know. In our room?
Yeah. Just walking by the door there. Okay. All right. I am going to press the end button here and end meeting for all, but wave goodbye to our growing fan base here at My Sports Reports. And again, thank you so, so much, and best of luck.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
All right. That was fun. I like doing these interviews. If you'd like to recommend somebody for an interview here, just reach out to me at mysportsreports@gmail.com. Special thanks go out to my wonderful, beautiful wife, Dawnie M., my friends Joey V. and Tommy K., supporters of this show in its current format since day one. You can support the show and thereby support local athletes and the positive achievements that they are showing us all around the country simply by subscribing to these videos wherever you find them. It's My Sports Reports. Yeah, and now it's dinner time. I seem to be forgetting something, but no matter. It's dinner time. I'm just focused on one thing right now, and that would be food. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, I'm Marshal Manlove, and now I hit this button. Where's the button? I'm gone.